So we see a lot of companies, they use your in-your-face gamification, and some use very subtle gamification. So how does a company figure out what kind of strategy they should go ahead with?
So I like the term in your face. Right? It's another way to think
It's
of.
very prevalent nowadays. I mean.
Yeah, I know, and it's a very funny way of saying overt. So see, let's take two communities that are involved in gamification. The first community is the end users, right? Now, if your app is internal, the end users are your employees or partners.
Okay.
If the app is external, then your end users are outside the company. They are consumers. I can promise you one thing, Kaustav, and it is that employees or consumers never say no to something that is fun and something that has got that little flavor of competition or contest or community, all the usual things that go to make a game such engaging experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
People never say no to that stuff, the end users. Let's come to the other community involved in the entire process, and that's the executives, the people who sanction the project, the people who fund the project. Now, they may have their own ideas on what is okay and what is not okay, right? And suppose if they, some of them may even object to that overt in your face gamification. And I say we are no one to object to their objections, right?
I mean, you asked for it.
Yeah. So, but I always take that friction as the starting point of a conversation. If somebody is uncomfortable with something, it's really good to understand why, right? And to bring it out into the open and not let it just spoil the whole initiative. So I would say it's a great chance to have a discussion and explore ways to gamify in within the threshold and within the comfort of the decision makers. Right? If you ask me, the thumb rule that I would simply say is 99% times subtle works beautifully. It works wonders for both the decision makers of the company and the end users. So
Right.
subtle should really be what we should aim for.
Mm. So, Casey, what are some of the examples that you have seen where companies who go ahead and use excessive gamification and companies who have just like kept it very subtle?
Okay, so I don't know of products that do excessive gamification because probably they didn't make it.
That's
Uh,
one way to put it.
but there are companies who have done it fairly overtly, I think, and people have accepted it. Cred comes to my mind.
Oh, nice.
They have these jackpots,
Right.
and obviously, I don't have access to their internal metrics or how the initiative is helping them, but I certainly find it pretty slick myself. And when I've spoken with other people, they also agree that it's really well done. Similarly, Google Pay, the scratch cards, and the build the home and those kind of initiatives, they are pretty. You can see that they are kind of like a game,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they do all right. So these are examples of well done gamification in an overt way.
Mm-hmm.
And subtle, of course, there are LinkedIn is a good example of subtle gamification.
Right.
Facebook, in fact, Yukai Chao in his Octalysis framework,
Mm-hmm.
he cites examples of gamification which are very subtle.
Can you tell us how LinkedIn has used gamification?
How?
How LinkedIn has used gamification?
So LinkedIn uses concepts that push you forward
Okay.
towards greater adoption. For instance, it's important for your profile to be complete because LinkedIn will then know more about you
Mm-hmm.
and help you maybe connect you better with different people, give better suggestions on whom to network with. In other words, it is trying to get to know more about you so that it can make it a better experience for you.
Right.
And richer experience. So it has the profile completion progress bar,
Mm-hmm.
and it tells you that this is what you should do next. Maybe you should upload an example of your work, and there is that percentage completion.
Okay.
So it's a very simple way to tell people that you are this far from having a fully baked profile.
Right, right, right.
Another example of gamification in LinkedIn, and this is very subtle, is they will tease you with, when you go to the notification feed, right, tray,
Mhm.
they'll tease you with things like three people looked at your profile, right? Now, look at how inviting it is.
Mhm.
You really want to know who those people
Who's
are,
stalking
right?
you?
Who is, well, you can put it that way, but don't you really want to know who those people are who are looking at your profile?
Every single day.
And it taps into a universal motivation. Who is interested in me,
Yeah. Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So we want to know the answer to that question. It's a powerful question.
Right.
And so when we attempt to click on that and find out who, sometimes it tells us, other times it says you've got to be, I don't know what it's called, the LinkedIn professional
Premium.
premium, sorry,
Yeah.
premium. You must be a premium subscriber of LinkedIn in order to satisfy your curiosity.
Hmm.
And otherwise, you'll have to settle for the teasers that it throws your way.